everyone, and welcome to today's Impact webinar, How Platforms Transform the Pharma Model. I'm Emma Nuckman. I'll be moderating today's session. Go ahead and make sure that you have the chat widget open on your screen. It's at the bottom of your screen. We want to have this as interactive as possible, so tell us where you're joining from. If at any point you have questions for today's presenters, go ahead and enter those in the chat or the Q&A widget. We'll be following up afterwards with any unanswered questions, but we'd love to hear from you. If you can take a couple of seconds to fill out our feedback survey throughout the presentation as well, that would be incredibly helpful. We have a wonderful presentation today, and I'm thrilled to announce today's presenters. We have Thomas Nashe and Sabby Mitra joining us, and we're thrilled to have you here. So big welcome to our audience, and big welcome to you, Tom and Sabby. Go ahead and take us through the presentation.
Thank you, Emma, and thank you everyone for joining the session. I'll just start by saying that life sciences as an industry has been on a digitization path for some time now. Over the years, large life sciences companies have accumulated a large volume of data assets, built operating models that are quite federated, cross-functional, and that can promote stronger customer experience and engagements, invested into artificial intelligence pilots to solve very interesting use cases. But now, as the industry continues to accelerate its digital ambitions, industrialization, speed to market, interoperability within a broader digital ecosystem, those things become some of the key priorities for the industry now. A platform-based business model, we think, delivers on these priorities and also affords companies the desired scale and the extensibility that they're looking for. Now, if we want to take or go outside of life sciences and want to take some inspiration from companies such as Amazon or Apple or even Airbnb, the rapid success of these companies based on the growth, if we start attributing those things, the adoption of a platform business model is one of them. But it's not the only thing. Leveraging the power of data and analytics and being smart about it, having a significant focus on customer experience, and creating a massive network effect of users are some of the other ones. We at ZS agree with Gartner in this case. Given all the data and digital investments that has gone into the industry so far, companies have made quite a bit of inroads already. And I think now is the time for industrialization. And industrialization can happen through the platform model itself. So talk more about that, I'm going to ask Tom to set the stage in terms of some of the imperatives that we are looking at when we think about platform at large. Tom?
Thank you, Sabby. Thank you for this very insightful introduction. And yes, we have seen a lot of activity in the industry on this theme. And yes, I'd like to strengthen what you just said, Sabby. We strongly believe that now is the time for a life sciences platform. And we believe it so strongly, as a matter of fact, that we've invested in our own platform. It's called Zayden by ZS. We've just released it a couple weeks ago, so it's hot off the press. It's designed specifically for the life sciences industry. And what we thought would be very valuable to you today would be to share the lessons from our own platform journey. Hopefully these will resonate, and hopefully these will help you as you start or as you continue your own platform journey. So first thing I wanted to stress is insights on the why. Why is it important to establish, to move towards a platform model? Well, we believe, and we've seen it across organizations, we believe that establishing a platform can help organizations change their business in three fundamental ways. 3 fundamental ways that are going to be critical to their success and critical to the way they serve customers. The first is about establishing a data and analytics foundation for superior market intelligence. So what do I mean by this? This is all about knowledge. This is all about knowledge of your customers. And when I say customers, it's in a broader sense of term. It's about patients, it's about healthcare providers, it's about institutional providers. And it's about making sure that as an organization, you understand, you obtain a deep understanding of their needs, of their behaviors, and of what you can do to best serve these customers. The second point in which we believe that a platform approach can fundamentally change your business is that a platform approach can help put customer engagement at the core of your business. And it can help you organize your business around this customer engagement strategy. Now, we know that a lot of organizations have started instituting customer engagement processes, but they're limited in scope. And Sabi will explain to us how a platform approach can help optimize this customer engagement process and expand the scope of it. And then the third way in which a platform approach can help you significantly change your business is that a platform approach can help you align your field and your digital to your strategy. And it can help you finally connect more tightly planning and execution. And again, which helps on the second objective that you have to make sure that your customer engagement strategy goes all the way to its execution. So as you can see, 3 fundamental ways in which the platform will help you change your business: knowledge, strategy at the core, and alignment of digital and the field to the strategy. So now let's see how. Let's go a little bit more into the details. And first, let's start with knowledge, that first business objective that we talked about. And again, the key question is, how can we create the data and analytics infrastructure foundation to make sure that you derive superior market intelligence? And I find that the quote here on the bottom right is very telling in illustrating this challenge, right? We are drowning in information, we are drowning in data, but we are starved for knowledge. And then maybe here, I'll turn it back to you, Sabi, because you have lived and breathed this for a great part of your career. So the question to you, Sabi, is how can a platform approach help change and transform data into knowledge?
Yes, Tom, good point, absolutely. The way to think about it, at least I think about it, is the power of platforms resides not just in accumulating massive volume of data, but it's also about unlocking novel use cases, new business possibilities, new opportunities, even before the business actually thinks about them. So a robust algorithm ecosystem makes a big difference in platforms to really harness value from data. We have actually designed Zayden with a significant emphasis towards an open and what we can call a domain-rich algorithm exchange, domain in life sciences. There are 3 properties of the exchange that I think really can accelerate new capability development for life sciences companies, as well as foster tremendous organizational innovation by crowdsourcing intelligence and algorithms throughout the organization. First, I think the algorithm exchange itself, it includes an algorithm library, and that library contains a set of pre-built algorithms that are very fit for purpose to solve unique and very specific use cases. For example, a use case could be targeting recommendations for the sales force in a very dynamic fashion. And that use case could be supported by a package of 3 algorithms that sits in that algorithm library. The algorithms could be machine learning based algorithms like patient opportunity prediction, or patient switch prediction, or even prescriber lookalike modeling. And companies, especially data scientists, they can train these models, and they can activate those algorithms and get those use cases to market very, very quickly. So that's one of the key areas of algorithm exchange in Xaden. Second, the algorithm exchange also allows companies to bring their own algorithms. So if we stick with the previous example that we were talking about, the use case was about targeting for the field force, and there are 3 algorithms already. Let's say we want to bring in a 4th algorithm that an in-house data scientist has already developed, and we want to publish it. And not only we want to string those algorithms together into a pipeline, or perhaps swap an algorithm that already exists in the Xaden platform. And then that orchestration and creating that pipeline of algorithms is something that could be done through Xaden by the data scientist. And that's one of the ways to get value from the underlying data ecosystem, if you will. The third area is about model management. So if I have an analytically savvy organization and I've invested in talent in advanced analytics and data scientists, and I do want to empower my data scientists with ability to model or ability to manage performance of the models, train and retrain models, especially after COVID. What we have seen is that the frequency at which models get trained is much higher than what we used to do back in early 2020s, because the data is changing, and they're changing very rapidly. So the ability for analytical organizations to manage their analytical programs and manage their intellectual property much more closely is what this capability in algorithm exchange is offering. Tom, I know you have thought about this topic as well.
I wanted to chime in, Sabi. Thanks, because I think the example, the use case you gave is very powerful, and if you bring it back to the life sciences industry and the core purpose of many life sciences organizations, you can see that this algorithm exchange, this open ecosystem can truly help accelerate learning significantly, and really enhance these organizations' understanding of the needs of patients. You mentioned a couple of patient algorithms, the needs of physicians, and truly create the conditions for therapy adoption, therapy maintenance, and truly impact the therapeutic outcomes in the markets that they serve. So I find this very, very powerful, and that this is kind of a core capability that really serves organization that achieve their core purpose. So let's move on, Sabi, to the second thing that we mentioned, which is about putting customer engagement at the core of the business. This is another area in which you've really operated very deeply into. So what are your thoughts on how platform can help with this objective?
A key business imperative for platform models is organizing the business around its customer engagement strategy. And we have actually developed Xaden with significant focus on helping life sciences companies deliver outstanding customer experience, but deliver that at scale. There are 3 key capabilities, or new capabilities, I should say, that is included as part of the Xaden launch that you may not have seen as part of ZS's versus orchestration engine. First, while some companies have made some inroads in the industry, piloted what we call dynamic customer journeys, but the scope of the orchestration in those cases has remained limited to a smaller set of channels. And these channels are generally push-based channels like emails and alerts. These pilots will require a faster approach for scaling, and also will need to cut across business units and markets. Not only these programs need to scale globally, there is an opportunity for the scope of orchestration to include a larger channel set and a channel mix, predominantly based on pull-based channels like the web and the media channels. So that's what Zayden is doing in his release, that it's creating integrations with a broader marketing technology stack to deliver that holistic orchestration between field, digital push, and digital pull channels. So that's number one in terms of improving the customer experience and personalization. The second capability that Zayden is bringing to the table from a personalization frontier is taking personalization actually to the next level by helping transform the content supply chain. And one of the things that it's trying to do is it's allowing companies to leverage very specialized algorithms. Some of them are computer vision algorithms that infer contextual and aesthetic tags from existing content so that it can have an opinion on what type of sentiment and tonality that the content expresses. And then there are algorithms that actually makes recommendations at a modular content level to ultimately dynamically assemble the content and deploy them in channels. So the supply chain is transformed and driving better personalization and customer experience through a set of integrations, set of algorithms, and set of analytics. The third area that Zayden has been working towards in advancing personalization and orchestration is about expanding the scope of orchestration within the human channels, let's say between the rep and the medical liaison. And given the field force is such a promotionally sensitive channel, the most promotionally sensitive channel, I should say, and it garners such a large investments, it is something that we want to go a little deeper. Tom will actually share a little bit more on how Zayden is enabling field performance. Now, Tom, this is an area that you have worked over the years in solving complex field performance issues. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, that's a very good point. And I think a perfect, I think, transition for our third theme, because our third theme, deals a lot about field activation. And in order to activate the field, you also need to make sure that you achieve this integration between the different roles that are in the marketplace. So let's focus on this, right? The third business objective, as I was saying, is about making sure that you have field and digital activation or alignment to the customer engagement strategy. And you know, I'll focus on the field for this one because for a couple of reasons. Because first of all, the field is a special channel we've seen in the industry for the longest time. Is very impactful and it's been treated separately. But we've also seen that, you know, over the years, we've connected with organizations that deal with disconnects between the field and the rest of the organization. So it's important to see how we solve these disconnects. So how does a platform approach help with this as well? So a couple of areas. First of all, of course, it's a given. As we were talking about in the first point, creating this common set of data and analytics that is going to feed the entire business is also helpful in this way, because you're going to have consistent information that feeds field processes and strategic processes as well. So no more separate data sets, databases, no more separate processes, no more separate capabilities. There's more consistency across the board to help bridge the gap. But also, I think it's important to keep in mind the new capabilities and the exciting opportunities in which a platform approach can help with this issue as well. So first, and this is an area also that, as Sabi was mentioning, we focused a lot in the design of Zeta. But a platform approach can help increase your agility in deployment. It can help you build and deploy an agile field organization that is well adapted to the local markets and the influence dynamics in these markets. I think you all know it, but some markets are more dominated by payers. In some markets, the influence comes from some very large and dominant provider groups. And other markets, you still have independent physicians that make their decisions independently of these broader institutions. All these markets can be best served in different ways. And a platform approach allows you to create the flexibility to adapt to the dynamics of these markets. So that's one way. Another way in which a platform approach can help with field activation is to motivate the field to deliver the customer engagement strategy. Platform can help you develop capabilities to improve your incentive plans to make them more adapted to your strategy, but it can also help in the field incentives consumption experience. It can help make this experience more dynamic and more motivating, ultimately, to deliver the customer engagement strategy. And then lastly, I'll hit upon it very quickly, but the platform helps in this key topic of transforming data into knowledge at a field level. The field also is bombarded very often with reports and data and information, and a platform approach can help you develop apps that allow you to synthesize all the information that you have at your disposal, communicate it in digestible way and motivating way for the field to consume, and in which ultimately helps activate the field in ways that are consistent with your customer engagement strategy. So I think these are a few thoughts on how a platform approach can help fundamentally change your business. Again, I'll repeat the framework: knowledge, creating better knowledge for your organization, strategy at the core and reaching every single part of your organization, and alignment of all of your channels to this strategy. We hope this discussion was helpful. We hope this was as motivating to you as we are passionate about platform and about how a platform approach can help you solve business issues that you face in your day-to-day life. And as you can see, we are very enthusiastic about the topic. So please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions about any of the topics that we mentioned, or if you want to find out more about Zeta and the ZS platform. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom and Sabby. That was an amazing presentation. And big thank you to our audience. Again, any of those questions that you put in during today, we will follow up afterwards. Please take a couple of seconds to fill out that feedback survey, and the session will be available for on-demand viewing. So tell your friends. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.